What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's good to see you tonight on the Speak and See show. Like, subscribe, and click the notification button so when I get information out, you can get information in. We're going to be going over the $10,000 EIDL grant that we are seeing a picture of coming into play in California. Now, this is breaking news because we haven't seen this as of yet. We've been waiting for this moment. We've been saying to you, all you subscribers and those people out there that have been watching our channel, that the EIDL grant is probably going to be coming in the form of the American Rescue Plan Act or another way. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as a lot of people would say, but let's not be diminutive about this. Let's go right into it. As you know, yesterday, a lot of you follow me on Twitter. I put up, if I have to call one more senator's office or congresswoman or congressman to remind them of our $10,000 EIDL 10K, I'm going to puke. Hey, we want our 10K. That's been the saying. We've been going to that. Hey, we want our 10K for a long time. And hey, we do want our 10K. And we are seeing that coming into play right now as we speak in California. It's important that you get all of the information here because if you're very interested in how this is happening, let me just say that right now, this is happening for California right now, a place in Chula Vista to be exact. You're going to want to know the minor details in this because it's important that we get the whole grasp of the subject now. Note too, a self-reminder, this is all going to come into play and I'm going to bring it all to tie it all in together for you. You're going to be needing this information now. So let's go over this in detail so that you guys got a clear picture on what's happening right now. So as we know, federal grants, which was the $10,000 EIDL grants, the PPP, they were federal, issued through the federal SBA agency. Okay, so federal grants offer the most amount of money and are therefore the most competitive option. State grants offer less money but are not as competitive as the federal ones. And at local levels, securing small grants is comparatively easier. Now, easier is better in a lot of small businesses' eyes. We would like to just cut through the hoops and ladders, cut through the red tape, and just send us our money that was guaranteed to us in the CARES Act. We have them dead to rights on this. Now, federal small business grants, let's go over that real quick. For businesses looking for a lot of capital, federal grants are the best option. Federal grants tend to be tied to government agencies that have clear requirements when it comes to qualifying for the capital. Now let's go over state and regional small business grants. State grants hand out less money than federal ones, and it's comparatively easier to qualify for these local grants. It's important to have a strong network and connect to the right people working at state agencies. Connecting to the right people means your congressmen in your district, not specifically your senators per se, but more so your congressmen in your chambers of commerce. We're going to go over right now to the American Rescue Plan Act that has just been put out in Chula Vista. This is where we start seeing this trickling down from federal into state, okay, and then into a local area, because we've just put a video out yesterday on this grant that Chula Vista is offering to the people. And I had a client say to me, or a subscriber say to me, I'm clicking on it, there's no information there. There's no application, it's just information. And that's correct. It's just information, but you're going to have to follow the guidelines of that information in order to go into the right area to find your grants. Now, I'm going to go over this sometimes. I dug a little deeper into this thinking, that's weird that she didn't get the information for her area. So if you scroll down onto the page of Chula Vista, I'll leave a link to this down below so that if any of you are in this area, you can apply for this grant as well. But if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see this page right here where it says, on the bottom, it says Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Plan. Click on that, and it will bring you to the City of Chula Vista Recovery Plan State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds 2021. This is where I can lead you to the water, but I can't get the water out scoop by scoop and give it to individual people one by one, or that would take me days for one person, and we just can't do that here. We don't have the time or the staff to accommodate that at the moment. If you scroll down to page 7, you will see right here in the small business grant program that Chula Vista is just starting to offer, that they are now putting into place. The process into place is coming right here. Let me make this bigger for you. And this detail is pretty lengthy, but it's exquisite in fact that it gives us the factors that we need in order to bring you the EIDL $10,000 EIDL grant in this area right here. So if we go and we read in the summer of 2020 as part of the Inclusive Economic and Pandemic Recovery, and I'm going to keep reading and go down below, it funded 279 businesses in the summer of 2021. Another survey was taken and sent to 7,636 businesses, and with an email addresses on file, and 130 survey responses were received. Most respondents indicated they would like funds to replenish depleted reserves, cover payroll, rent, equipment, and other debt that accrued during the pandemic. Okay, so there we go. That's where we need a piece of the puzzle right there. Those were the same options that were included in the EIDL program. Let's go ahead and go over and see where the mirroring is now coming into play, how this is now going state. So now state legislation has taken over this and saying, okay, we're going to run with this. We're going to go with their requests, and we're going to bring that grant to the people. How does it mirror the PPP? It's by having the same requirements and same eligibility that the PPP and the 10K EIDL grant needed. So here we go. Now, so in order to get that mirror, the survey was also sent to the Third Avenue Village Association for distribution. Staff will bring back for City Council approval a small business grant program that mirrors the program implemented under the CARES Act in 2020 and recommend partnership with, this is where the lady needs to go who sent me the information that said she didn't have it. The information's right here. The partnership with the San Diego Foundation to distribute the funds. So they would go to the San Diego Foundation for this money, for this grant, as soon as the partnerships come around and put it out there. As soon as they say, okay, application's right here. So as soon as the application's put out and ready, this is where you're going to have to be in line for this before the funds run out. So that's why I try to give you guys the resources, and that's where I'm providing you is the resources to know where to be at when this time comes, and know that you're, be in contact with your state and local legislation saying, okay, it's my turn, I'm in. So get in is what I'm trying to say. But this is the main event. They had just said the program mirrors that of the CARES Act in 2020. Now we know there was only one grant program in the CARES Act, which was the EIDL $10,000 EIDL grant. PPP was also considered a loan. It wasn't a grant, but it does have a reflection. So let's read the factors once again. Now, if we look closely into this, what the respondents indicated there was they would like funds to replenish depleted reserves, cover payroll rent, equipment, other debt, and that has accrued during the pandemic. I forgot my C there. Sorry about that. We'll get over it. So we look at the SBA. What were their requirements in the EIDL $10,000 grant? Targeted advance funds can be used for working capital, normal operating expenses that could have been met had the disaster not occurred. It's almost a spitting image of what they're saying there. Those include, but are not limited to, continuation of healthcare benefits, rent, utilities, and fixed debt payments. Kind of what we had just read with this. The rent, the equipment, other debt accrued during the pandemic. Now, a lot of debts were accrued during the pandemic, which includes all these utilities and fixed debt payments. Now we go over to the PPP and the first and second draw, which just says at least 60% of the proceeds are spent on payroll. Go back to the other one, was the first thing they said, it can be used on payroll. Okay, so we're in the PPP. It's a reflection of the PPP, but more mirroring of the EIDL grant, because they use the word mirror in there, which is basically a complete, there's a spot on copy of it right there in your face. And right here now is where we have them dead to rights, ladies and gentlemen, where we have them in the small business EIDL 10K grants. And that's why you need to be contacting, as we have, where, as I said before, I'm about to puke, but if you contacted this man right here, which we have before, we've called his office, very friendly people over there, and his number is down below, 619-422-5963. It's Juan Vargas, because this is guys representing the 51st District of California. He is the one who is making sure that this gets implemented and mirroring the CARES Act, which is the EIDL $10,000 grant for that district. So if they're going to give it to us this way, then we'll take the EIDL grant any way we can get it. So we need to make sure that our districts are going to be included in the ARPA funds, which are going to be coming out for all across America. So we need to get in touch with our representatives to make sure that this happens for you, because it's happening for them in Chula Vista. So if you're in Chula Vista, you're going to be getting your $10,000 grant, or you should be getting your $10,000 grant. I don't make promises here, and especially ones that I can't keep that are in the control of our government, because when they say something, sometimes it just doesn't come into play the way we would hope to. So hopefully this gives us a glimpse of what we're going to be seeing in the future for all you small businesses out there that were declined for the rest of the $10,000 EIDL grant, for the remainder of it thereof. So hopefully, with this said, quick shout out to my boy Jason McElhone, who does his homework, who understands all this, who also at trysmallbiz.com gets involved in the small businesses and in the nitty gritty to what we're doing here. And I want to give him a quick shout out. Jason, good job, brother, on what you're doing. And to all of you out there who are looking to get this EIDL grant, this $10,000 EIDL grant, let this be a pillar of hope to you that it is happening. Things are in play. Nothing is at a standstill right now as we know it, but things are moving forward, and it might not be how we thought it was going to look or the way it should have looked, or if it's going to be in a bill through legislation or through Congress or through our senators, it might not come that way. It might come this way, but that's okay, because bring it to me in a bucket, throw it to me out of the sky, throw it to the small businesses, however you can get it to them, get it to them and get it to them quick. Guys, once again, I want to thank you all for watching, liking, and subscribing. And if you're in those areas of California, go check out these grants. They're for you. And if you're not in that area, contact your district congressman or woman, and let them know that, hey, you still want your 10K. They're getting it.
Yeah.